Hey, what is going on, Aries? Butch Tarot here. I hope you all had a great holidays. Um, I got to spend it with with my family and some friends. Um, so it's all about really, and I hope you have the chance to do that as well. Um, Looking forward to a new year. I want to start out by saying I thought there'd be flying cars by now. I guess Back to the Future wasn't as accurate as we thought it was. I remember as a kid, I thought 2025 was so far away, and by then we're gonna have spaceships. Everybody's gonna have one parked in their driveway. Not yet. Anyway, I'm gonna do your January read from now to the end of January. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Aries for January 2025? What do we see for Aries? Whew. Let's unpack this. There's a lot going on here. So first thing I see is I feel like there's multiple energies coming in. Now, one I feel is someone that you already know. We have the Six of Cups. But I feel like with this connection, I feel like there's some distance. Some distance, and I feel like there's some closed off energy. With that hot and cold, with that Five of Pentacles, and then we have, that Eight of Swords is that self-imposed prison. I feel like with this person, this is someone I feel like you have history with, but I feel like lately things are different, and they're only getting more different. It feels like they're hiding something from you. It feels like they're closed off. It feels like what you had is kind of fading. It feels like they're hiding something from you. It almost feels like their bags are packed, but they haven't told you yet. Like they hide them at the front door, closet, your coat closet or whatever you want to call it. It's like their bags are packed, but they haven't told you yet. They just feel very distant. And I feel like in a lot of areas, but I feel like it's hard. The hard part about it is I feel like there was an establishment of trust. I feel like you really got to know this person. But I feel like it's more of a friendship. It's almost like it feels very platonic. It's like the passion is gone. Like you're not on the same page anymore. With that Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like you're not on the same page anymore. You're kind of really not heading in the same direction anymore. Kind of like a karmic relation. And I feel like the lack of stability with that Four of Wands in reverse. I mean, it either feels like their bags are packed and ready to go, and they just haven't told you yet, or they're putting off that energy. But I mean, I feel like there's an internal struggle coming. Now, this is what I was talking about with multiple energies. I feel like this internal struggle that's coming is someone new. You know, I feel like there's someone new coming into your life. And I feel like there's a lot. I mean, I feel like with this new person, I feel like you have this incredible connection very quickly, but I feel like it's more of a intellectual connection. You know, I feel like you can be very open with this person, you know, and they're very open with you. And I just feel like this is where this bond starts. You know, even though it's not just intellectual, I mean, I feel like there's some flirtatious energy with this person. But that's where the internal struggle goes, because I feel like you're being pulled into a new direction, which can be scary, especially when you have a connection with someone and, you know, maybe not feeling like it's quite done or not knowing if it's quite done. This is going to cause a lot of overthinking. That Four of Wands. Four Swords. I don't know why I keep doing that. You know, a lot of overthinking going on here. You know, but what I'm seeing, usually it's kind of like, when I see something like this, it's kind of not really, it's kind of leaving it open for discussion, but it's like we kind of have this sinking ship, and it's whether or not you're going to go down with that ship. And all of a sudden, this nice, big, beautiful yacht pulls up and says, hey, get on board. You know, do you get on board, or you stay with the ship and hope you figure it out? You know, I feel like I said, and it kind of feels like there was, like I said, I mean, I feel like there's still a friendship there. I feel like the love kind of vacated. So like I said, I mean, it's an internal struggle here. But with this new person, I mean, you have this incredible connection, and it just feels right. And I mean, it's telling me to trust your intuition. I feel like with this person, you're thinking about them, even when you're not around them. You're thinking about them, and it's not just the like I said, the intellectual connection that you have with this person. You know, I mean, there's some passionate energy as well. I mean, this person is, intelligent. They're passionate. They're inspiring. I mean, I feel like this person just has this aura about it. They're very charismatic. You know, I feel like this person makes you laugh. You enjoy spending time with this person. The more you spend time with them, the more you want to spend time with them. And another thing with this person, I feel like is really drawing you in is I feel like you challenge each other. You know, they challenge you and you challenge them, and I feel like that's something a fire sign really craves. I mean, as a fire sign myself, you know, and with this new person, I mean, I feel like you're fantasizing about a future with them. You know, it's the way they make you feel. It's not just the way they make you feel by the things they say to you, which they're not afraid to. Like I said, with that Queen of Swords, I mean, very open and honest communication with this person. It's also how they look at you. It's how they see you. Sometimes it's the way the person looks at us. You know, it's how their look makes us feel like we're being seen, like we're understood. I mean, this person is drawn to you, just like you're drawn to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, like I said, I mean, but I feel like we keep coming back to this other person. It's like you feel like the bags are packed and at the door. They just haven't told you yet. but you not wanting to cross that line, feeling like you're doing something wrong. But I feel like sometimes relationships just come to an end. They have an expiry date. And this new person, I feel like you don't know them that well yet, but I mean, I'm seeing an incredible connection. I mean, this is something that we need to really look at, because this is not something you see every day. The Emperor and the Empress. I mean, this person's drawn to you, and I feel like you're drawn to them, and I feel like it's something that was brought to you on purpose. This was, divine intervention, call it. I love these cards because when you put them together, they make that face in the background. I don't know if you can make that out as well as on camera, but the Emperor, the nurturer, the protector, the masculine, the feminine, the yin and the yang. I mean, it's a connection that was meant to be. I think it's leading us right down this rabbit hole, and I'm gonna go with it. I mean, we have new love in the Lovers. I believe that this is your soulmate. And sometimes letting go of something is hard. But the Ace of Cups and the Lovers tells me everything I need to see. Is it enough for what you need to see? That's up for you to decide. But I feel like there's a lot of forward movement here. I feel like there's a future here. And with that Fool, I feel like we're all in here. It's the beginning of a new journey. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. But, I mean, coming back to this, this is what's really hung me up on this. With the Eight of Cups, is like the emotional detachment. And we go back, and like I said, with that Four of Wands in reverse, fractured stability or things falling apart. That distance, feeling that they're hiding something from you. Sometimes we can be loyal to a fault. Sometimes we hold on to something too long. I watch this. I watch a lot of Discovery Channel. But anyway, there was this teacher. He picked up this bucket, and it had about this much water in it. And he passed it to a student. He said, hold this up. Is that heavy? She said, no, it's not heavy. He said, all right, keep holding it. And then he started talking about some other things, and he looks over and he said, how about now? Is it heavy? She's like, well, it's getting a little bit heavy. He's like, okay, let me know when it's too much. And he just laughed because there was barely anything in it, right? And a few minutes later, her arm starts shaking. He's like, you're all right? And she's like, it's getting, too heavy to hold. And he said, okay, put it down. The point of the story is sometimes it doesn't feel like too much. Sometimes it feels like it's, it can be comfortable, it can be okay, and then all of a sudden, the same thing, you hold on to too long, it becomes too much. I feel like that happens in life sometimes. I feel like we hold on to things that we weren't meant to hold on to. Sometimes we're introduced to, if you think of your life as a book, there's different characters in a book. There's many characters in a book sometimes. Not all those characters have, they're not a supporting character. They play their role, and they're in, they're out. Kind of like cameos, in a movie. They weren't meant to be the main star. And sometimes we'll meet people in our life, different relationships. Doesn't mean they didn't, some relationships aren't even bad relationships. They're just not the right ones. Anyway, with this past person, I am getting some Virgo, some Taurus, some Capricorn. We get some Cancer, Pisces. Some Aries. What's the other person I'm getting? Sagittarius, Leo, um, Aquarius, Gemini, Aries, Pisces, and Scorpio. Anyway, I know that was a lot to unpack. But like I said, sometimes it's not, it's not about that. It's about, we always have people in our life that play a role. Our favorite teacher, or, but we don't take them with us. We don't, say your grade 5 teacher taught you a lot and she really meant a lot to you, or he really meant a lot to you. We can't take them to grade 6 with us. That was their role. And sometimes, even when it's comfortable doesn't mean it's the right fit. And sometimes something new comes along, and yes, it can be scary and it's new, but and the worst part, I think, for some people is like when you're in a relationship with someone and it's falling apart, but you really care about the person. It's hard because you don't want to, you don't want to lose that. Maybe you have a great relationship in a lot of different areas, but not the perfect relationship, if you know what I mean. You could be with someone, maybe your sex life is great, but emotionally you don't really feel a connection. Or maybe intellectually you don't feel a connection. Or maybe emotionally it's great, but maybe the passion isn't there. I feel like we add that up to the point where I feel like at the end of the day, you want to be the person that fills your cups. Not 6 of your cups. If we look at the 9 of cups as kind of a benchmark, you can be with someone that, does this, this, and this, and this, and this. So there's 5 cups out of the 9 cups are filled. But there's always going to be those 4 cups. And I feel like we all have our 9 of cups out there. We all have that person out there that's going to fill all our needs. And like I said, I've dated before I was with Rose. I dated and I met nice people. I dated this one girl for a while and we broke up. We were friends. And that's what it felt like at the end. It just felt like we were friends that just really enjoyed each other's company, but it wasn't oomph, the oomph wasn't there. It was missing something. And it was hard to walk away from that because we really did care about each other. And we both knew what would happen. You try to stay friends, but it doesn't work out. Either you date someone new or they date someone new and it gets awkward. But, not all relationships end because they're bad. Excuse me. Unfortunately, that happens. They're not all bad. Someone cheats on you, you break up. That was bad. Someone just isn't the right person. You have a great connection, everything's good, except for there's something missing. It's a good one, just didn't work out. Sometimes we have to accept that. Sometimes people hold on to relationships too long for all the wrong reasons. And some people hang on, thinking that it's all the right reasons. It's hard to decide. It's a fine line sometimes. Do you need all those things? Do you, and that's the thing sometimes with relationships too, is like they evolve. You evolve as a person and your partner evolves as a person. Sometimes we evolve apart. You know, sometimes our road splits. You know, we shared the road. It's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like hitchhiking. Like you're on the road, you meet someone, and maybe they're going 2 hours toward where you're going, but they're not going all the way. And you have a good conversation, you have a great time. You get to 2 hours down the road where they're going, they drop you off. You continue down your road, they continue to theirs. That might have been a terrible metaphor. And then one day you meet someone that's going the whole distance. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.